So here's my current pet situation. Um, yeah, they're all right here because they want to hear all about the books that I hauled in the month of January. Hi readers, it's Lori. Welcome back to my channel, Books, Ink, and Paper, or welcome if this is your first time. I'm so happy that you're here, and I'm so excited to share with you my January book haul, which I think is pretty manageable. It is a combination of a couple of library books, a couple of audio books that I really wanted to get. I have a gift book in here, which was unexpected and exciting. I have a book that I didn't own that I wanted to buy to curate for my shelf and may or may not reread it these next few weeks. I have a book for Mardi Gras readathon that I hauled, which of course you can look at those videos as well. It's no surprise I already shared it on one video. I have a book of the month, and I have a book from Tertulia. So let's talk about all of these amazing things. My cold is getting a little bit better, so hopefully I won't be and coughing throughout this one. We shall see. I'm trying some new medicine to see if I can get that cough down. I feel a little less congested, but I got to tell you, this is the longest tail on a cold / any kind of virus that I think I've ever had. I'm over it. The first book I hauled in this month is A Killing Cold by Kate Alice Marshall. This is a book I really, really want to get to soon because it is a killing cold, so it's perfect for winter. I talked about this in my new releases for January, so you may have seen it, but this is about a whirlwind romance with a woman who is dating a man named Connor, and he takes her to his home to visit and meet his family, and it's like a remote home that they have. It's not their main home. It's like their retreat house. And when she gets there, she discovers a photo of her in that home as a child. Yes, that seems really creepy to me too. And I've heard a good bit of buzz about this one, and I hope that it's good. And I actually would like to try to read this before the end of January, but given my other commitments, I'm not sure if that will work or not, but you never know, do you? All right, Tertulia, my friends. You may have heard of Tertulia before. If not, I just want you to know that it is a co-op membership bookstore where members get to participate in a variety of things. We also get to have a bit of a say on some of the things that they decide to do, apparently. We get to vote at some point. But also, I got in on a day when the membership for a particular window was free for the year. I think next year when I renew it will be $25, but the membership gives you a discount on books that are featured by them, some that are already on sale, and then I've already been able to attend an event about advanced reader copies for books for the next 3 or 4 months, which was so entertaining and gave me a lot of information about books that I probably wouldn't have heard of before. So I have to tell you, in addition to getting this book from Tertulia, which delights me, my membership so far has been a huge success. So if you want to take a look, I don't get anything if you sign up, so I'm not trying to sell you anything for my benefit, but tertulia.com is an amazing place for you to go and just check it out and see if it's something that you want to take a look at. You can always order books from them without being a member, so don't worry about that. And they do have some great sales now and again, which actually happened when I got this book, which is one of my favorite authors and also an anticipated release for me for January, and that's What Happened to the Mcras by Tracy Lang. You know, if you've been following me for a while, that I really like Tracy Lang a lot. I've read the other 2 books that she's written, and I had been anticipating this one. So this is about Kyle, who discovers that his father had a stroke, and so he goes to New York. He has not a great relationship with his family. He left a long time ago. Tracy Lang writes family, saga, drama, discomforting kinds of books. If you don't like those, you might not like Tracy Lang. But nevertheless, he goes back home, and his ex-wife is there, or maybe they're not divorced. I can't remember. But he has to now take care of his dad and figure out what the future brings for him and for his family. And I think it's going to be great. And I love this yellow cover. And it's also, you can see icicles, snow, winter. I need to get to it sooner than later while it's still a little cold. Although today, 67 is our high. First Libro.fm title that I purchased this month was, let me get it to pull up here, The Rose Code by Kate Quinn. This was $3.50. I'll keep the screenshot up so that you can see it. I couldn't resist it for $3.50. Yes, I already own the physical copy of this book. I don't think I paid for it though. I think a friend of mine unhauled it and gave it to me. However, I sometimes like to listen to Kate Quinn's books on audio rather than reading them physically. They're usually pretty chunky, but also I can do it both ways, which also usually means I finish them faster. So that's the point of that. But this is about female code breakers at Bletchley Park and the spy they must root out after the war is over. So that's all I'm going to tell you about that, because I don't want to know a whole lot about it either, except that it's about code breakers, which is actually one of my favorite kinds of subjects about World War II. And then I have a pre-order for a book called Penitence by Kristin Koval. Let me straighten that out. I'm going to show you a screenshot of that too. This one was talked about and on a podcast, and I think the podcast that I heard about it on was Sarah's Bookshelves Live. It was either Sarah's Bookshelves Live or Currently Reading. So there you go. That is all I remember, is that I got it because I was listening to the podcast. I can tell you where I was and where I was headed, but I cannot tell you whose it was, but I'm pretty sure Sarah's Live. Okay, so Penitence doesn't come out until January 28th, so I am highly anticipating this one, that it will drop into my Libro.fm. It has a 4.22 rating, so I did not feature it in my January anticipated reads because I didn't hear about it till later, but you know, that's not unusual. There's a lot of reads then, and it's hard to kind of track into them all. But this says it's for readers of Anne Patchett and Celeste Ng, and this is a poignant exploration of love and forgiveness. So what I remember hearing about it is a 13-year-old girl ends up in jail. Her parents are contacted, obviously upset. Something she did, which was pretty intense, but I don't know and I don't want to know till I start listening, they're very upset about. So the mother contacts a friend of hers who is an attorney and says, can you help us? Our daughter is in jail. She's obviously 13, so it must be a pretty major thing. Otherwise, she would go to youth jail, right? And the woman who she contacts says she can't manage that particular case, but her brother can. And her brother is the ex-boyfriend of the mother. So I think there's going to be some family tension because the child is in jail, but also because this guy is going to show back up in their lives. And I don't want to know a whole lot more, except the cover is beautiful. The name of the book is intriguing, and the synopsis that they shared was quite attractive to me for me to want to read it. So that is why I now own Penitence on Libro.fm. So those are my only digital purchases this month. Then I acquired the Bayou Book Thief by Ellen Byron. If you haven't seen the Mardi Gras Readathon kickoff and you want to participate, please feel free to do so, but there's no obligation for you to do that. But I am going to talk about this briefly because some of you might not be interested in the group read for the Mardi Gras Readathon, which is this one. So this is set in New Orleans, which is one of the reasons we chose it. And it's about a woman, I think she's divorced, or no, maybe her husband dies. It's hard to read the small print on these little things. Her husband dies during a stupid internet stunt. That's what it is. And I want to really know what this stupid internet stunt was, right? Don't we all? So she joins the staff of Bon V Culinary House Museum, which has a gift shop, which has kitchenware and cookbooks and those kinds of things. So this has to do with food as well as New Orleans, and the prompts for Mardi Gras Readathon, they're kicking in this book, let me just say. So then she discovers a donated trunk contains the body of a cantankerous Bon V employee who was fired because he was charged with being a book thief. I'm guessing the cookbooks, I'm not sure, but it's a cozy little quick mystery. And again, this is our group read, and we will be reading this. The Mardi Gras Readathon ends on March 4th, which is Fat Tuesday, but we will have a live event. So if you want to read it and chat with us, go check out those Mardi Gras Readathon videos. All right, the next one I curated is Beartown by Fredrik Backman. I have the other two in this series, Us Against You and The Winners, that I have not read. This one I did read. I loved it. I gave it 5 stars, I'm pretty sure. I don't know why I never went on to the other two when they were released, but I did not. However, I wanted to make sure I had all 3 of them. I thought I had all 3 of them, but when we stacked the shelves, I realized I had a man called Uwe. They all look the same, essentially, on the spines. And I thought that was Beartown. So I realized I didn't have Beartown. It's kind of annoyed me ever since I realized that. So I decided it was on sale. I would go ahead and grab it, as I had to order this book as well. So I just got 2 at the same time. And I may reread this because it's been a while since I read it. I do want to get to Us Against You and the next one as well. So let me see when I read this. February of 2019. Yep, so it's been a while. This is an older book, and Us Against You has been on my backlist for a while, and I think I got The Winners last year, so it's technically backlist, but I do think that these would be good for the backlist challenge as well. These are set in Sweden. This is about an ice hockey team with a number of participants. It's also about how the town and community and parents get behind the ice hockey team. It's about things that teenage boys do as team members, and sometimes those things are great and sometimes those things are challenging, but they are in this book going up to the finals, and they have a shot at winning, so they're going to the national semifinals. And this says it's a story about a town and a game, but even more about loyalty, commitment, and the responsibilities of friendship. The people we disappoint, even though we love them, and the decisions we make every day that come to define us. In this story of a small forest town, Fredrik Backman has found the entire world. And that, my friends, is why I bought this the first time, because that grabbed me and hooked me in, and I love this author. One of my favorites. I've read a lot of his books. I plan to read even more of them, but this one just needed to be in the trilogy because it was bothering me that it wasn't. All right, and the last couple are library related. So what happens when you put library books on hold and then you get COVID? And then you realize you can't go up to the library because you don't want to infect your friends that are the librarians there. And let me just tell you, I have just as great a relationship with this library where we live now as I did with the one in the past. So I really care about those people and don't want to make them sick. In fact, when I returned the books that I had out, which I held back for a little while too, because I wasn't sure if I could, get in the car and drive. I was so sick. I put a little post-it note and said, I had COVID. Sorry, this is late. Also, clean these really, really well. Although I had also gotten some alcohol wipes out and done that. But I was really stressed out about the fact that I had these books and that I couldn't get them back to them. Nevertheless, I had put these on hold way back at the end of December. I did not get to them. And guess what? They were still available to me. So the other day I felt well enough and not contagious enough to go pick them up. So this is the first one that I picked up, The Safekeep by Yael van der Wouden, I think. Van der Wouden. I should have looked it up, but The Safekeep was recommended to me by, I know who, Meredith, on Currently Reading, and this one was one of her favorites of the year. So this is 1961 in the Dutch province of Overijssel. And of course, the war is a big issue in this particular book, but there's also a relationship between Eva and Isabel who do not like each other. I just started this and I can tell you there is a lot of distrust and it's not good. But obviously things are going to apparently shift over time. It says it's a brilliantly plotted, uncommonly assured debut novel and shines a light into the shadowy corners of our histories and homes, exposing the unexpected faces of revenge and redemption. I hear it's fantastic. It's fairly short. I would like to finish this week too. It has lovely end papers if you're interested in the cover papers. And I had never, ever, ever heard of this book or this author, but this is her debut, and I can't wait to get to it. And I hear really good things, and it has really high ratings on Goodreads. This is The Friday Afternoon Club by Griffin Dunn. This was on hold for a while because it was already checked out, so it's very popular. I doubt I'm going to be able to keep it past the 2 weeks. But this is a memoir of him growing up among larger-than-life characters in Hollywood and Manhattan, finds wicked humor and glimmers of light in even the most painful circumstances. So at 8 years old, Sean Connery saved Griffin Dunn from drowning. That's the first thing it tells you. But obviously, he met a lot of people along the way. Carrie Fisher, he met Martin Scorsese, and he produced and starred in a film that was directed by Martin Scorsese. Also, though, this book is about his sister, Dominique, who was also a rising star, who was killed. So this is about a lot of things that happened to this family. There are, of course, photos of this family included. I really just can't wait to get to this. Look, this was their Christmas postcard one year. Hear no evil, see no evil, speak no evil. I really want to get to this. Can I do it before it's due back? I hope so. We'll see. You know, the trouble with library books is they come in when they come in. And then you have to go get them or you don't. And that's a tricky situation. While I was at my library, however, my friend Richard, who is one of the librarians there, who is an amazing guy, and we have become friends, he always tells me about the book clubs that are coming up and the events that are coming up. So we have one coming up, which is celebrating Leontine Price's 98th birthday on Saturday, the 8th of February. If you're local, I would encourage you to go to that. And this is at the Orange Grove Library if you're local. And then they're having an evening with James Baldwin with someone who is speaking about James Baldwin and a discussion about this particular book, which is Giovanni's Room, which I did not own. And Richard said, I'm going to give you a copy because we got some free copies donated to us. And so I have a little sticker on the front that says, this was made possible by a generous grant from the LGBTQ Fund of Mississippi, developing and investing resources to support efforts that address the needs of LGBTQ Mississippians. What a lovely thing for them to have done. So he said, I'm going to press this in your hands so that you can read it and come to our book club, which I think I put on my calendar. So this is set in 1950s Paris. So if you're familiar, this could count as a Mardi Gras readathon prompt for me. American expatriates, liaisons, and violence. A young man finds himself caught between desire and conventional morality. Baldwin's now classic narrative delves into the mystery of loving and creates a moving, highly controversial story of death and passion that reveals the unspoken complexities of the human heart. And this was first published in a long time ago, 1956. So this would definitely be a great read for me in February for Black History Month. It would also be a great read for me in the space of the Mardi Gras readathon, and I'm so delighted and grateful to Richard for having given that to me. It was very sweet of him. And I said, you know, I can buy my own copy, Richard. I really can. And he said, no, this is for you. So it is definitely an exciting thing. And there is a bookstore in New Orleans called Baldwin's, and it is in honor of James Baldwin. And I've been there and I love it. And so this is even more special that I got this copy. There you go, my friends. That is my January book haul. See, it wasn't too bad. I had 7 physical books and 2 Libro.fm book purchases. So it could have been worse, right? Could be better. Could have been worse. I'm hoping that February is calmer. I am noticing I may need to say no books for a month, because I'm running out of room on my shelves, I have to say. I am definitely aware of the room that I have left. Thanks for watching, readers. Thanks for your support, your comments. Let me know if you've read any of these. Let me know if any of these are on your shelf. I am seeing a lot of people reading A Killing Cold, so it must be pretty hyped at the moment. I haven't seen a lot of buzz about Tracy Lang. I don't often see as much buzz about Tracy Lang, so that doesn't surprise me. There is a lot of buzz, I think, around the Griffin Dunn memoir, and the Safekeep, maybe. People are talking a little bit about the Safekeep. So let me know if these are books that you have added to your shelves or will be adding to your shelves. And as always, happy reading. Bye.